Good morning. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK, and today we are joined by the lovely Tina Cox.
Hi.
Good morning, Tina. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good, good. It's lovely to have your company. We're here at 10 o'clock.
We are.
And we're also back at 2 o'clock, aren't we?
We are.
We are. So very new and very exciting. So tell us a little bit about how you got into parching, where it all started.
Well, I started parchment when it was, years ago in 95. I literally got bored 2 months into marriage and needed something a bit more entertaining to do in my life. And I saw a little sample and I bought the starter kit at the time, with the ink and the mapping pen and all that, and became a Pergamano tutor. And then did various pattern packs and things, because at that time we had the paper copies we needed to trace and redraw the lines and everything. And with failing eyesight, I figured out that this was just not working anymore for me. I was getting all the tram lines and everything, and to me it was looking very messy, so I stopped until I saw Barbara demonstrate groovy plates, and then I was like,
so that would have been about 2015.
I can't remember exactly because I'd stopped for a good year and a half doing any parchment. And I know she was demonstrating the very first henna plates that you had. It was a border plate.
Yes, that's right.
And I absolutely fell in love with it. And I was like, really? White lines? Just like that? I can do that. So,
excellent. So, today, if we'll just do a little bit of housekeeping, we've got many friends in the room. We've got 126 people tuning in already.
Okay, no butterflies.
So this is sort of like when we broadcast live from Clarity TV here in Edenbridge, we can see how many friends we've got joining us, and we've got lots of happy messages coming in from the side saying they're lovely to see you.
Thank you.
So if you are tuning in for the first time, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping for you to explain exactly how it works. So the lovely Jim is in the office next door, and he will bring up products on the side of the screen. Okay. So for example, if Jim will bring up item number 1 on the side of the screen. There we go. So across the top, you'll see that there's an item code, then there's a product image, a description of what the item is. And then underneath, see that one that's crossed out, the RRP? That's what it should be. Okay. And underneath in the lovely turquoise is what you're going to pay today. And it shows you that saving. So if you like Tina's designs, okay, maybe you're new to Groovi and you're thinking, what is it? What's the Parchlet's all about? Tina's going to explain to us. I mean, we're so lucky to have Tina here with us today because she's designed this fantastic artwork. And for me, it's really opened up the art of parchment craft.
To be honest, I'm lucky to be here. Otherwise, I would have been home cooking lunch and dinner and cleaning up. So it's my day off. This is my day off. I plan to play.
So if you're looking to order, we're going to look at various different products from Tina. And we've got some fantastic savings throughout the hour and at 2 o'clock as well. And so there's several ways of ordering. You can order via our website, which is claritycrafts.com. And all you need to do is put that 5-digit number in. So at the top of this one, you can see you've got 42391. Just pop that in and it'll bring the product up straight away. Okay. Now, if you're not into your online ordering, then you can give Sue or Jazz or Pete a call. They're in our call centre scattered around the building. And you can do that by calling 01732 868 215. Okay. So that's the boring bit out the way. Okay, for me but it's just if we've got 145 people, lots of people.
Stop saying that to me.
Can you imagine having 145 people in the room?
Actually, that would be easier for me.
Having them,
I'm much more
in the room.
Person kind of person than a camera kind of person. You know what I mean.
I know, it's very strange, isn't it? So what we've done, we've put a collection together of your fantastic parchlets.
What was
the idea behind the parchlets? How did you come up with the idea?
They're sort of, I think for me, because they're small and I designed them at a time where life was just crazy mad, chaos. And I wanted something I could do very quick. But at the same time, I was looking to design something that, yes, if I want, here is a standalone plate, I can use it as it is. But those who do know me know I like to mix and match things. So
Definitely.
I wanted them to be very versatile in the sense, if I've got more time, I can make something bigger. I can mix and match as many elements within them. And I find that when you've got small elements within a plate, it's, for me personally, it's easier to make something bigger.
Yeah.
As opposed to if I've got a bigger image to shrink it. So yeah.
So that was the idea behind the parchlets. So when we're talking about the parchlets, wrong camera, there we go. So this is the complete collection we have here. Now we've got them available as individual sets. So across the top, we've got your Christmas ones. And obviously we're not far away from the C word now, are we, Christmas? So you've got a collection of 6 parchlets in Christmas. Then we have our mixed shapes, which contain sort of diamonds, hearts, hexagons, ovals, rectangles, and stars. And then at the bottom, you've got your circles and squares. Now, we've put a collection together of all of them, and we've also put in a pack of A5 parchment as well, because you definitely need parchment once you get started. So if you're interested in that, the item number is 42391, and this has got a £28 saving. So you're going to get 3 of those plates and the parchment for free.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, if you're interested, we've got the Christmas ones available, and they are 6 for the price of 5. So if you just want your Christmas, and we'll have a look at these in a little bit more detail on the overhead with Tina. So the Christmas option is 41285. The mixed shapes option is 41569. And then finally, the circles and squares is 415,698. Now, when you're working with parchment, a starter kit, maybe you're new to Groovi and parchment art. Maybe you've seen sort of Tina on the TV in the past, or you've seen her on Instagram and Facebook and everything else sharing her work. We have this fantastic starter kit. Okay, if we can bring up a screenshot of that, please, Mr. Jim, in the back office. He's going to do that for us. And this has got 2 fantastic projects designed by yourself, isn't it, Tina? So what interests you about the starter kit? This is what you bought when you got started?
Oh my gosh, the starter kit. Do you know what? For me, it is not a starter kit.
I know.
Yeah,
I think we need to rename
not a
it,
starter kit. It is something that's going to sit on your table all the time, because everything in there you're going to use all the time. It's got your tools, it's got your embossing mat, it's got the plate mates that fits your A5 squares, it fits your for example, the parchlets in there. You've got parchment as well in there.
Yeah, there's parchment.
You've got plates, you've got so much in there. And everything is so well thought out, in the sense that, you know, with a lot of new crafts that we start, for example, a starter box, you've used up everything and it's finished. And then you think, okay, now I need to replenish whatever, you know. With this, other than the parchment, for example, you've got that you're going to use it all the time. So for me, it's not a starter kit. It's
maybe we need to look at I know. You know. So we've got this at a really special price. We've just recently celebrated 31 years of All Things Clarity. And so you'll see there you've got a £31 saving.
Oh, wow.
So it's £1 per year that Clarity's been around. Okay. And you're also going to get a bonus thanks Groovi plate as well. So you haven't even seen that,
I haven't even seen. I need a new starter kit.
You don't need it. You've got the original one. You just need parchment.
Know, but no, you can never have too many starter kits. One can stay in my bag, for example, and one on my table, can't it?
Yeah, well, that's a good idea.
I just like anything Groovi, to be honest.
So what we'll do, we'll have a look now, Tina, at the 3 different sets. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a look on the overhead. So I'm going to pass this into you and allow you to sort of flick through. And so we can show everybody at home exactly what we have here. So this is the plates traced out exactly as they come.
Okay, let me get this nice and straight.
There we go.
There we go. So yeah, so this is the Christmas parchlets.
Yeah.
And within there, there's 6 plates. And you will see in all the 6 parchlets for Christmas, and all of them actually, you have your main frame. And when we start with parchment, it's always nice to have a frame, right?
Yeah.
But it's a standalone plate if you want it to be. But we've got elements that can be broken down, made smaller, made bigger, and there'll always be a focal image in there. So in here, it's the angel.
Yeah.
Then here we have the candle around a wreath. We've got nice corner elements, and we have a border. And as a matter of fact, we're going to play in the afternoon and see how we manipulate borders. So this is within the frame, how to move that border outside to make it the outside frame.
Right. Okay. So come back at 2 o'clock.
Yeah. So another one here, snowflakes with a few more corners. So within the 6 plates, for example, you have got so many elements here.
You've got Christmas covered,
you can mix and match. You can keep them as the plates they are. This is my favorite little snowman.
The snowman.
He's cute. I want one of these this Christmas. Then the bells. Stockings, some
That's
more
like a little
corners.
sort of postage stamp, isn't it?
Yes. And this size, there was a time when I was making just 2 by 2 inch parchlets. This is when we call them parchlets, because our artwork was 2 by 2 inch.
That's right. 2
so
inches.
that's why,
Was it
twinches. Yeah. So we were doing them in parchment, so we call them parchlets.
Right. Okay,
and then the last one, we have Christmas trees.
So this is the same style as that lovely little snowman, isn't it?
And then you'll find within each there is a different border that goes around each of the elements. So some samples.
Okay, so I believe that this piece of artwork was created by yourself.
It was. I can't remember when, but it was.
So, I mean, it's lovely how you can sort of change the color of it, a little bit of white
Yes,
work.
and also you can see how we have something small, we have made it bigger. So, if you're just a beginner, for example, you're just starting, then they're amazing. They give you the white work. They've got the parchment feel to it when you just trace out and color in. If you're a bit more advanced, you've got the option of making that project bigger, combining it with your other plates you have, pico cutting, grid work, anything you wish.
Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take these and I'm going to pass them in one at a time so I can give the name of the design team behind them.
Great.
That might be, cool. I should have thought about that first. So this one here is from the lovely Jane Telford.
I love purples. Thank you, Jane. But again, within a bow ball and the different plates that she has, she's mixed and matched. And it's just so pretty.
So this one here is from Ronk, and she's introduced a little bit of stitching, something else that you're well known for, your embroidery.
I love embroidery, parchment, card, anything. So on this, she's used, I love that.
And this one is from the lovely Tina.
Can't remember when, but there you go.
So talking about those purples, so our coloured parchment as well is really good to use with these. Then we have this one from Karen Jackson.
It's pretty glitter.
Lovely, isn't it? And the perga glitter works really well, doesn't it?
So beautiful.
Now,
Thank you.
If I come in this way like that, now this was created by yourself as well. But how different does it look?
So now once you get into it, if you're just a beginner, you can see by changing just a few things, the card has a completely different feel. So in this one, we've used color. In this one, we've worked in just black and created various grays. And, for me, I don't get bored with parchment because, every time I create something, I change it a little bit. And it gives me the options to play for even longer.
Absolutely. So this one here is from Carol Pankstello.
So beautiful. So beautiful. I just love all the glitter.
And then we've got another one from yourself. You definitely love that glitter, don't you?
Just a bit. Just a tad.
Just a little bit. Then this one from Sheila Gray. So this is layers, because you also like to create layers when you're working,
I do like to create layers. So, and in the morning, I will show you, even if you're working on one piece of parchment, how we can give it that layered look to it. So
this one is from Glynis.
How cute. How cute.
And then I think we'll just show one more from this collection. So this one is from Sheila Gray.
And isn't that beautiful? And that's, you know, the one you mentioned that has the stamp border. The frame, yes. How it looks like, you know, individual stamps. It's so beautiful.
Okay. So the next one are your mix shapes. So if you like the Christmas ones, the item code for that is 4126585. And now we're going to look at the mix shapes, and that is 41569.
So we have diamond here.
Yeah.
With some more corners, a heart. I love this one. I love how these flowers come out with the little circles, and you emboss them when you do them. If you haven't done them and you have the plate, or you're going to really do this one. It looks so pretty when you've done it. I hope so. And then we've got hexagon, some more corners. We have got oval. And we have a rectangle.
A rectangle.
Oh, sorry, and a star. And a star. But again, you could bring in this star with your Christmas plates.
Yes.
You know, and change the element in there to put one of the Christmas elements if you so wish.
And I think because your designs, they have that mixability to them, don't they? So this is a piece of artwork. This is from Maggie Byford.
I absolutely love this. I love them all. I know I'm saying I love this.
Yeah, I know, I'm just a fan.
So
this one's from Carol Pankstello.
They're just gorgeous.
We have a real sort of beehive from Linda Page.
Every time I look at these samples, and you know, and I see them, I see something different every time, and I'm like, wow, that's so beautiful.
And then I love this. This is from Glynis.
That's so beautiful.
Now there's another one here from Glynis, and this is where you were talking about those little flowers.
Yeah, so you know, you can see how just by adding those little circles on the corners, to me that has a really delicate parchment look to it. I just love those corners.
And then finally we've got another piece from Glynis, and that's using the star as well. So if you like those, let's say the item code is 41569. Now we're going to come into the circles and squares, and these all have different flowers surrounding them, don't they?
Yeah. So these were the first original set of 6 I had done with the circles and squares.
Right.
So this one is
allium, I think that one.
I call it fufu flowers. You know, when you go in the garden, you go fuf. They're my.
You've got to show how do you go?
You go fuf. Okay, in the garden, fuf. So I call them my fufu flowers, right? And then we have this one here, which is very cute, very delicate. And you know, as you can see, they're standalone plates if you so wish, but they can be made bigger, as we have seen in a lot of the samples where they're bigger.
Absolutely.
I got confused with the words. And then there is one more.
And that's the final one there. So let's have a look at some artwork. This one doesn't have a name on the back.
White work and so much picot cutting. Isn't that gorgeous?
It's beautiful.
Wow.
Then we've got a piece from Sheila Gray using those fufu flowers, as you call them.
Yeah, the fufu flowers.
Yeah.
And using the designer parchment that's on the designer parchment, and it works so well. You don't need to worry about coloring if you're not at that stage, because the parchment does a lot of the work for you.
Now, talking of designer parchment, we have a special offer on that. If you go to the website and just put in 8x8 design, it's half price.
Bumblebees. They're so cute.
So this one, again, this doesn't have a name.
Cute.
Sometimes we put these on our art board and they come off. This one's from Jane Telford. Do you know,
that looks so beautiful.
There's 202 people joining us today.
No, I didn't hear anything. I did not hear anything. I'm just enjoying the samples. And thank you to the design team.
Absolutely. And then the final piece, another piece from Jane here.
That is so beautiful.
Oh, I've got to show you one more. I'm
that
terrible.
Is
this
so
one is
beautiful.
From the lovely Josie Davidson. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
That lace work around the outside.
Lace work. Let me move it around. Look at that. Lace work queen.
And it's beautiful because you've got those lovely flowers, and then it's been the other ones from another design have been put in there as well.
So you can mix and match, and you know, your other techniques, if you've already been doing this for a while, can come into it. So depending on how much time you have, for example, you may not have that much time, in which case, you can finish a parchlet in a relatively short time. Line art, color, nice backing paper, and done. If you have lots of time, then yeah.
Now, there's one other thing I wanted to just mention before we get started. Recently, we've introduced an event called Triple Point Tuesday. And every Tuesday, we launch it in Groovi Tuesday. And it's a product that we bring to you at a super special saving, okay? And if you put it in your basket, you get triple loyalty points. We have loyalty points on our website, okay? So you'll get triple points. Now, if anything else happens to jump into your basket at the same time, the whole basket gets triple points, okay? Now, all the prices I've been mentioning during the course of this first 20 minutes, or 20 minutes already, we will get to demo. If you belong to any of our Clarity Craft Clubs, then you also get your additional club discount on top of that. So if you're a Diamond member, you're going to get 15% off all of those prices that are shown. Okay. Now this week's, because I knew you was going to be joining us, and we're so honoured and grateful for you to be here. Okay.
Oh, I'm just glad I'm here.
So the Triple Point Tuesday is a set of 6 stamps. Okay. And if we just very quickly look on the, we'll go very quickly to the overhead. These, you'll just remember, these are taken from your Christmas parchlet.
They look familiar.
Absolutely. So these are Tina's Christmas elements. And the item code for that, I've got it on my list somewhere, is 12031. Okay. £25 saving. You're only paying £35. This should be 60 quid. Okay. So what we've done is we've taken all the elements from your Christmas Groovi plates and turned them into stamps.
And then just broken down into various elements. I think I'm going to be shopping tonight.
Well, you'll get triple points.
Exactly. I'm going to be shopping tonight.
So I just wanted to share that because I thought Tina's in the room. How can we not? And Christmas is coming. Look, that little snowman. Look, in 2 different sizes.
I need him. Oh, there's a bigger one. I need him too.
I didn't tell Tina about this, but I thought I'd wanted to just share that with you. And the final
I love
one
Oh
there.
my gosh, even the angel is in 2 sizes.
Yeah.
I need them too. I'm shopping.
Right, so I just wanted to share that with you. So we've got those on the website as well. And the lovely Jilly, who's also in the room helping us out, has popped up the links. So now, Tina, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to hand over to you.
No, please don't stop talking.
No. Okay, so what are we going to be looking at during this hour?
So what we're going to do is this one. I have mix and matched various plates.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but I will talk it through as I'm doing it.
Okay.
And we'll see where it goes. But one of the things I really want to show as well is how, although I've kept it relatively small, how we can use the same design to make it bigger. So we'll see how much we get done. And we'll wing it. We will wing it.
We don't wing things here at Clarity. This is all planned out and scripted.
I'm going home. I'm going home. If I
okay.
wing it.
So where are we going to get started?
So I'm going to start with something. Oh, here. So I need a bit of parchment.
Okay.
And what I've done is I have already die cut my parchment from using the Pico dies.
Right. Okay.
And it is, let's have it the right way around. It is this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 from inside. I think it's 6 from outside too, because it's the right middle one. So I've die cut it already.
Okay.
If you don't have the dies, the parchlets already have a frame around it. So you can use that frame.
Okay.
Glasses.
So you've got one that you've already traced out, haven't you?
I do have one I've already traced out. Somewhere. Reaching out, she says. So there you go.
There we go.
So I have embossed it out. There you go. That one there. I'll put this one. So I'll go with that because I'll show you the tracing out of the line art on with the other plates because it's exactly the same technique. But if I talk through, basically I just stuck this down on the plate itself using Groovi tabs, did 2 opposite sides, removed the tape, placed it, and did the other 2.
Super.
Okay, so I'm going to move that out of the way and let's get to the main design. So I am using this plate mate.
So this is the Barbara Shack A6 Christmas plate mate that comes with a fantastic set of sentiments in there.
So I'm using it because I haven't seen it and I want to. Sorry.
So I'm just going to
so those are the words.
Zoom out a little bit so we can see it in all its beauty. I just gave the camera some static.
Did you get zapped?
I got zapped. That's why I think it blinked on and off. So.
Oh, okay.
But there we go. So you can see there. So this is lovely, isn't it?
This is beautiful, and I haven't seen it before. So for me, I want to use this plate mate because there's so many elements on it. Not that I'm going to for this show, but I'm hoping for the afternoon show I can play with it and show you some of the things on this plate mate that I can use alongside the parchlets.
Yeah.
So I'll do that later. So I'm going to turn it around to. So if you're new to Groovi, for example, you want to have Groovi reading the right way up.
Yeah.
Yes. And that way, you know, you're on the right side of the plate. Now, if I remove the center plate and put my parchlet in, for example, so if I put my parchlet in, you can see it moves.
Yeah.
So everything at Clarity is well thought out. There is a spacer plate.
There is indeed.
That will stop it from moving.
So if you're interested in this is Barbara's Shack A6 Christmas plate mate, and it also comes with that lovely little Merry Christmas spacer plate as well. So that is item number 6 on our show. There we go. Jim's popped that up, and the item code for that is 42392.
So what I'm going to do is I have, so I've got my border from the Pico squares.
Yeah.
And when I put it on there, you will see that this square is slightly smaller than what is on the parchlet itself.
Right.
So again, when I've slotted the parchlet in, I've got Groovi reading the right way up.
Yeah.
But because it's slightly smaller, my Pico squares, can you see the design sort of goes out of the frame? Yes. Thankfully, there is some space in there, so I know I can move it. So basically, I'm going to be working one corner at a time. And with the Groovi plates, because we have created this line on the frame already, it will just slot into one of the, what's it called? One of the grooves.
Yeah.
So it stays. So I'm going to do one corner at a time.
Right.
Move it along, shift it slightly, do the next corner,
yeah,
which I have got prepped in. But you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to run the tumble dryer sheet, and I don't want to do it all over your plate mate.
So why is it important to wipe
take that out
with a tumble dryer sheet?
Because it will help the tool glide easier. So it's always better to rub your tumble dryer sheet first. So I'm going outside because we've got the Pico squares. I don't want it catching, the tumble dryer sheet catching on the Pico. So I'm going outwards very quickly. There we go. And let's wipe that. We'll pretend I didn't do it with my sleeve.
We didn't see anything, Tina.
We'll pretend
the 207 people didn't see anything.
Oh, you mean the 7? Yeah.
Now,
I'm glad.
Apologies if you've asked any questions and I've missed them because I've been having so much fun catching up with Tina. So if you've got any questions, then pop a comment below. And if I do miss it, then I'm sure Julie will reach out and let me know.
So we have stuck it down with the Groovi tabs. Now in the starter kit, we get the tools.
Yeah.
So we have 1 and 2, and I am absolutely rubbish. Oh, I think I've got one of the older tools.
You've got one of the originals.
The newer tools have numbers on them. So 3 and 4, and this would have been 1 and 2, and they go in size order.
Yes.
So I'm going to use number 1 and 2 for this design here. And I will also, if you're just starting off, I'll show you the plate mate that comes in the starter kit a bit later.
Okay.
That can be used as well. So because I'm going to emboss these little circles here, I'm going to use the number 2 tool, because what that will do is that will give us a softer line And that makes it easier to emboss in there.
Right, okay.
So I'm just running the tool in there, just
I'm going to come
chilled,
in nice and close so our
relaxed.
friends at home can see. So I'm just going to, I'll try not to get a shock off the camera again this time. Let me just, right, I've got the shock again.
Oh no.
I'm going to come in nice and slowly so our friends at home can see. There we go.
So I'm just going in there and basically embossing all those circles. Anything I want to emboss very white with the number 2 tool.
Okay.
I'm going to flip it over. I love flipping this.
I love flipping it.
Oh my gosh, was that something I wasn't supposed to say?
No.
Okay, good. I'm using the Groovi guard, and because it's got different sections, I can move it around. So I want this, because I'm quite on the edge, I'm using the smaller window. Okay. And this keeps my parchment down, but it keeps my icky, chocolatey fingers off the parchment too. And I'm using the number 1 tool, and we can see now how this is bright white and very crisp.
Definitely. So the Groovi guard, if you haven't got that in your stash already, then the item code for that is 40345. And it's only $3.98 just for the Groovi guard.
So you can see how quickly. Now, you know, for me personally, I love, oopsie daisy.
So that was our Groovi tab.
Yes, in the way. So I'm just going to, there you go. And we just, oopsie daisy. Not bad though. Half an hour, is it? My first oopsie daisies.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Usually I start quite early on, don't I?
So Lillian is saying this is so relaxing.
It is.
Tina and Paul, Gilly and Jim, Tea and Sunshine too. All my buddies, so thankful.
Oh, thank you. That was cute.
There we go. It's lovely, isn't it?
So for me personally, I love line art. I can quite happily just sit there, do line art, color at the back with my felt pens, burger liners, and I'm a happy person. I find it very relaxing, very therapeutic to just do this because the grooves are already there. And you know, some days we want to just sit, chill, relax, do something creative. And it just always comes out so beautiful. So I'm not going to do all of it because I have one prepared. But
Mr. Ken Kilminster.
Hi, Ken.
Has said, a Tina ups a daisy, my day is complete.
Oh, that's funny.
There we go.
I am glad.
Oh, look, Ken's message has popped up on the screen. See that? A Tina ups a daisy, my day is complete.
I'm glad now your day is complete.
Mr. Jim
I feel
and
better.
his technology.
So there we go. But you can see once you get going, it's very quick. So, you know, if you were doing this as a standalone plate, this would just come along very quickly. And we did that corner super quick. If I turn that round very quickly, I can also show you the difference between the line art with the number 2 tool and the number 1 tool. And I will bring in the one that I had prepped earlier. So there we go. So here we have with the number 1 tool, which is really beautiful, crisp white, and then with the number 2 tool, the softer white, which will make it easier for us to emboss. So moving on, let's bring one I have already done. But before I do that, so for those who are new, I'm going to bring this in very quickly. I'm not going to emboss it, but just to show you. So we did this corner. So when you get to the other corners, basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the parchment off, not off the screen. I took it off the screen and showing everyone, and no one could see it.
I think I need to do something because I keep getting shocks. And it's
shoes?
I'm going to take my shoes off. They're clean socks, Tina, don't worry.
Mine aren't. Go on. So we take the parchment off, we move it along to this corner, and we slot it in, stick it down, and do the next corner. And you can see just by holding it there how it just about
kisses.
matches there.
It does.
So now even depending on what corner you're using, even if it goes a little bit over, it doesn't matter, because you can just say this scroll went a bit further this way. Leave this bit out. It will just look like this scroll is behind this one.
It.
You know, just keep it consistent all the way around and it will be fine. So not to worry. This one I got lucky that it just sat next to one another.
You designed it that way, Tina.
Of course I did.
You designed it that way.
If only I was that clever. So here is one that I have done, that I've completed all the way. So number 1, number 2, and now we've got the gap in the middle. So you have options between all your parchlets as to what you want to put in there. I am going to use the diamonds from.
So we're going from into the mixed shape collection now.
So I quite like this shape, and I thought, well, you know, I'm going to use it. I know it's a Christmas theme, but it's okay.
But it is a shape.
It's a shape.
It's a shape.
And on the card itself, for example, I have used the flowers that go along it as well. You don't have to. You could easily leave that out and use one of your Christmas ones if you so wish. But for me, when I look at flowers, for example, depending on what colors I'm using, it will give it that Christmas feel, or, you know, flowery, summery, spring feel, anything. Just change your colors. So how much time do we have?
We've got loads of time, Tina.
Oh, we have?
It's 10:37.
So do you want me to emboss this, or
have you got one that's already ready to go? Yeah,
yeah,
go to one?
do. So yeah, I'll do that, and let me just if I can just quickly go through. So basically, you know, when I am mixing and matching, I look for certain markers, for example. So if you're doing no, forget, I didn't start that sentence. We'll rewind.
We can cut that. We can edit this part out, Tina.
I know when I get to that sentence, I'll remember, but I think it has to be one while I'm demonstrating. Otherwise, my mind just goes, oh, yeah, like that. So as I was saying about markers, so for example, here, when I'm looking for where to position, so I've got it nice and straight.
Yeah.
Sorry, not right, nice and straight. In the middle, how do I know? So I know that these stems, I have got 2 sort of berries here, for example.
Yeah.
So I want on this side to have approximately the same 2 berries as there, and the same. So the distance, for example, from here to there, approximately the same as the distance from here to there.
Right.
So that way, so if I did that, you can see it's way off. It's not in the center. But if you're like anything like me and you want to get it accurate, look out for those markers on top and bottom and the sides.
Super.
So we will move that out of the way. And here is one already done with the frame. So you can see the whole frame is there with the gap in the middle. So now you have got something in there that you can put. And of course, as I said, I love the snowman. So of course, it's going to be the snowman. Groovy side up. There we go.
But it's lovely, isn't it? Because you've got the snowman, you've got that angel in the middle, the candle, the snowflakes, the stocking, even a single little Christmas tree would probably work beautifully inside there.
Yep, anything, any of the elements. So again, no, I'm not going to go to that. I was looking at my next prep stage, and I'm like, no, I'm going to emboss this, and it's very quick to emboss it out. So I'm just going to go for it.
Okay.
I mean, we wouldn't want to confuse me more than I get as it is in my head.
You know, Tina, if you wanted to, we could just carry on until 3 o'clock.
Oh, thank goodness.
we can just stay tuned all the way through if you wish.
I'm all for it. I don't know about all of you. Poor everyone who's, you know, behind the scenes at the moment here.
No, it'll be fine.
So you can see how quick is the snowman to do. Oops. And you can see I'm jumping out a lot because I'm rushing. You can take a bit more time.
And you always go over your line art twice, don't you? I noticed
I
that
do.
when you're working.
I do. Because the first time I go, I'd go softly just to get into the groove. And then the second time, just a bit more.
Just to crisp it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who can just do it the first time. I don't have the strength in my wrist to do it that way. And to be honest, I like going into the groove. So if I can do it 2-3 times, I will. It means I spend longer doing parchment than,
there's no rush though, is there? I mean, that's the whole thing about it.
And that's the whole design. But now, just quickly, we will get to techniques, honest.
But you know what? Lovely.
It's really nice to see how you can use the plates. I'm going to move that. So this is the smaller size.
Yeah.
So for example, here we've got this.
Towards that. Yeah.
Oopsie daisy. There you go. Yeah. So that's but the same design. Okay. Same design.
How easy it is to replicate a design.
Bigger.
Oh wow.
Same plate.
Right, I'm going to try
slightly bigger.
Zoom out.
So I am going to bring in for anyone who might want to try.
There we go. That was better.
Yeah.
Yeah. No shock. It was the shoes.
It was the shoes. So for anyone who might want to try a bigger version, just to let you know, I have used the Pico die, 3rd largest. Yeah. To cut out, and then the frames are 3rd largest and 5th.
Okay? Right.
Just so for your framework.
You've expanded it.
So I've made it bigger. So just in case anyone out there wants to try, you have. But now when we look at this and this one here, look at the size difference. Same element, same design, slightly different. Yes, we have the gaps there, but you know what? When you have these gaps, they give you the opportunities to put something else in there. And there is so many elements within the plates that you can. So for example, in here, I could take, for example, here, let's take the angel. And I could say, put the poinsettia down here.
Oh yeah. And there's one that's got bells on as well, isn't there?
There's bells. I could take, for example, this one, and between this, I could maybe use the scallops just to join up. I could use these scallops.
I'm often surprised, Tina, when you and sort of like Linda Williams and Barbara and Jazz and many of our friends that create designs for us, how much is crammed onto a plate.
Yes.
And for me, it's that value for money, because you could have just given a frame, you could have just put a little icon in the middle, but there's so many different elements.
There is. And you know, I know we always recommend, if you're new, even if you're not new, always emboss out those plates out, because as you're doing it, you will see so much more than when you first look at a plate. And it gives you the opportunity to see, actually go within those plates and jog your memory as to what are the plates you might have. And some of us have a lot. And think, I have that plate and that will work perfectly with this, know. So you emboss them out. And if you don't want to keep them later, this one, this plate, for example, is a standalone plate. You can mount it, emboss, cut, emboss and put it on a card, and you're ready to go. So, but just in an instant, emboss it out.
Yeah.
It's not wasted effort, wasted time, because...
Definitely not. I mean, I think the beauty for me of parchment craft is that crisp white line art.
Yeah.
And so where you can compare the two. So this one, you've added some color, which you're going to show us how to do shortly. But on its own right, just traced out a piece of lovely companion paper behind it. Or if you're not at that stage yet where you're into your coloring, the designer parchment really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
because
perfect.
It gives you that instant colorway.
Absolutely. Okay, so next we're going to do a teeny tiny bit of embossing on the circles where we embossed with the number 22.
Yes.
And then we'll do some coloring.
Okay.
And then glitter. So for the embossing, we are going to use the embossing mat. I'm using the one from the starter kit.
Yeah.
I know some of you may have the excellent Pergamano mat, the pink one. I'm comfortable using the one in the starter kit, so that's what I'm going to use.
Yeah,
I am
fine.
doing just the circles for this one. If I was doing, for example, a bit more embossing that needs a lot of white work, I would probably, for me personally, use the pink one, the excellent matte, which I will show you this afternoon because we will be doing a bit
nice
more
and close for
embossing.
you now, Tina, so our friends at home can enjoy it.
Thank you. So I'm going to show which is the biggest circle to show you on. Okay, let's go with this teeny tiny biggest one.
Okay.
This tiny. So to emboss circles, we go up and down, across, and then round.
Right. Let me see if I can come in on the other camera on that one. So number 3, I believe.
So I'm using the number 3 tool, and I'm going across and up and down, across.
I'm just going to zoom in on this camera a little bit whilst you're there, Tina. Right, let's have a look. We're going to zoom in really. Oh, sorry, a little bit too far. There we go.
I didn't notice. Might be because I'm looking down.
There we go. So you're talking about up and down, left and right.
Up and down, across, and in a little round. So I'm using the number 3 tool for the larger ones. And, you know, it's something that I think you will play with at home and see which one you want to go in with. Generally, I mean, the ball itself, yes, when we look at that, that looks huge.
Yeah, it does.
But when you use just a bit, just the tip or something, that's a tiny area. So it is deceptive. But there are times when I think, you know, today my hand is shaky and I'm more likely to go out, then, you know, let it go. Let it go. Take your number 2.
Yeah.
It is okay. Everything is good. But for these little ones, definitely I'm using the number 2. Now, if I turn that around, that is just one layer.
Right.
Yes?
Okay, and we can see how that's coming
I would
together.
do all the circles.
Yeah.
And then come back and put another layer. Whenever we're embossing, do it in layers. Don't try and do all the white work instantly, because then we risk going through the parchment or the parchment buckling, creating a fuzz around the embossing because we've pressed too hard instantly.
Right. Okay.
So it's always worth, you know, taking that time and doing it in layers. So if I go back and just put another one in here, these are tiny circles. You're not going to need to wait that long. The larger the element, the longer you will wait for your parchment to rest again. So a second layer, and you can see the difference.
You really can see that difference.
So by the time you put one more layer, if you wanted to, it is going to be a lot whiter. Yeah. And by the time you've done all of them one way, you'll be ready to go to put the next layer. Okay, so if I bring back to this one, and you can see all the white work there, that's all the white circles all done.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've started coloring on this because I knew there was no way we were going to get color all that in this slot. And let me show you the coloring on these elements and the snowman here, just to bring it here. And you can see I've done a bit of shading here and here on the snowman. And this is very simple with the Perga Colors exclusives.
Okay.
So when I'm coloring, I'm going to turn my mat over to the hard side.
Yeah.
So, you know, because the parchment doesn't know when I'm using colors and embossing mats.
Right, so it thinks that the pen potentially is an embossing tool. So if you're on the soft side, then
so generally line art on the hard side, coloring on the hard side, but when you're doing your white work, turn it over to the soft side. Right, so I'm going to start with the Perga Colors exclusives. 30 absolutely beautiful colors. These are my go-to pens. You know, they dry super fast as well, and they're just absolutely gorgeous colors.
£5 saving on these. Plus,
do I need another set?
Plus club discount
triple
as well.
Points.
Triple points only if you pop those stamps in that same basket.
Yeah, of course I will. It's got snowman in 2 sizes. Of course I'm going to, and angel in 2 sizes.
So what do you like about the Perga Color exclusive pens?
Everything, the colors, let's just start. The colors that they're just made for parchment. You know, they're beautiful, like vibrant, and oh, look at the mess
I might
I've
zoom out a
made.
little bit in a little
Look
while
at the
so we
mess.
can
I
see.
started so neat and
covered.
tidy, and now it's just chaos. I always say I'm going to work very tidy, very neat, and it just never works. It's no. So, Perga Colors exclusive. They're water-soluble felt pens.
Yeah.
Double-ended. So you've got a wide end,
There we go.
and thin end.
A thin end.
Okay. I'm going to put the lid on one side. I'm going to use the thin end. So all the leaves, basically, I've done with this one, which is the number 16. This is my favorite green because it's super bright. You know, every time I look up at the screen, it's all fuzzy. I'm not saying it's fuzzy, Jim. It's fine, but it's because I've got my reading glasses. I'm like, everything is a bit fuzzy.
So now I'm get you some varifocals, Tina.
Oh, my contact lenses are varifocals.
Are they?
Yeah, but I still need that little bit of top up. So that was the green. So all the leaves, all the holly leaves have been done with the green.
Okay.
The flowers and this little diddly doos in the corner, circles there, I've done with the red, which is the number 26. Again, I'm going to use the fine side. Now, if you have the light panel at home, the light wave, do use it when you're coloring because you will see a huge difference. You can go right up to the edge of your line art.
I remember seeing you do this on TV once because I'd never even considered to use the light panel when colouring, mainly when I'm sort of just tracing out or doing perforating. But for me, using the light panel when colouring really did make a difference.
It does. It lets you go right to the edge. The reason I'm not using it because I always forget to say when I'm turning it on, and it flickers, right? On TV, it flickers if it's not at the highest setting. I'm just really bad at that. So it's just easier. But for those who are just starting, I forgot to mention we're coloring on the back.
Right.
We're coloring on the back, and so when we turn it over, all the white work is still white. So for example, if I do this one, if I went over it, it is not, I know I was being very careful. I didn't need to because on the front, it is still white.
So the white prevails onto the front regardless.
Yeah. So don't worry, it was just me being a bit more particular. I didn't need to be. I just forget. So coloring on the back.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to, so that's all the coloring done with the felt pens, whatever you want to. Now, because these are water-soluble felt pens, when we use the Perga liners, for example, and blend with the Dorso oil, it's not going to smudge because the Perga liners are used, when we blend, we use an oil. So you can layer the two up. You don't need to use just Perga liners or just felt pens.
Mix them up.
Yes. So when I did this, I did all the felt pen, for example, I colored it in, and then I just went over the whole thing with Perga liners and blended it with the Dorso oil, and it is fine. And as a matter of fact, what it's done is it's given me a double tone there. Yes, I could have been careful going around the leaves and everything, but chocolate was waiting. So I just went with, I like the dual tone in the leaves.
Yeah.
It stops it being so flat. When you're just coloring with felt pens, it can become flat. This way you've got two tones of leaves.
See, that's really interesting because I'd forgotten that fact that you can, so if you're colouring with your Perga colour pens first, because you would think because they're water soluble, then what would happen is that when you then use the pencils on top and you're adding sort of, in a way, it's moisture with the oil, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would have expected it then to sort of bleed into the pens, but you're saying that doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen, no.
Right.
Because one is oil based and the other, it will only rub with water.
With water?
Yeah.
Interesting. No, that's really interesting. Because say oil is wet, you would think it would act as, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, if you're nervous about it, do the Perga liners first and then use your felt pens. Once the oil is a bit more you know, sometimes we have, once the oil's evaporated, then do the felt pens. It doesn't matter which way you do it. I prefer to do the felt pens first and then the pencils, but either way, it's not going to matter.
So it doesn't matter which one you do first.
No.
Okay.
So all I'm doing is I'm coloring with the B pencil. So I'm still on the back. I'm using B6 for my snowman here.
So we've got the Pergoliners pencils on the show, and they've also got a cheeky little £5 off as well. I'm sure Mr. Jim will bring those up for us, which is item number 7 on the list for Jim.
And what I'm doing is I'm just going with a darker tone on just here and there, not everywhere. And this one is the B4, just a little bit, just like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But while I'm at it and just coloring in, I might as well put this in, and I'll blend them one at a time.
Now, when you say colouring, this is like my colouring in, which is
Isn't
sort of
it? Like this is so much fun.
A 5-year-old's colouring in.
Exactly.
I know you're not offended by that, Tina, but it is.
No, in my head I am. I might be 4 actually.
But it's all about sort of like, because I remember when I first started to learn to colour in on parchment, I thought that I had to create a solid colour in order for it to come through, because I didn't realise at the time that it was all about, especially with a wax pencil, and it's the same with like the Faber-Castell pencils, isn't it? Because they're a wax-based polychromo.
Yeah.
But I was going on really heavy because I thought, I've got to get the intensity of that colour. And then all of a sudden, the Dorso oil came along, and that was a real game changer.
I know, it looks so different, doesn't
it?
So, sorry, I forgot to mention the red is the B11, in case anyone was looking to replicate the colors and things. So when I turn that round, that looks like, oh my gosh, compared to, hold on, this is not what she showed. You know, so when you look at that, and when you look at
that there for me, Tina, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Came in close.
Gosh, you get your exercise.
I do. I call this my groovy workout. There we go.
I'm so glad I'm just sitting on this chair and swiveling. It's my play day. So you can see when we look at this and then look at this and you think, well, no, that doesn't look the same. But the magic happens with the Dorso one. And I'm just saying this for those who are just joining in, haven't got to the coloring stage. I know those who have been coloring for a while will know what the magic is. So what I'm going to do is I've got some Dorso oil.
Yeah.
What the Dorso oil will do is it will help us blend the color, make it nice and smooth. And when you do that, I have just put a drop, literally a drop is enough.
So the Dorso oil comes in a lovely little colouring essentials kit, which is item 9. And in there, you've got your Dorso oil, you've got your spot-on sponge, you've got some blending nibs in there as well.
Okay.
And you get your mix mat.
I'm just going to get a couple of blending nibs out. And so on my tool, I'm going to put the nib in.
Yeah.
Oops, I forget where I need to be. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to blend that. So when I blend that, I'm going to start with my snowman and then work outwards. So on the spot-on sponge, I'm going to literally just touch.
Right.
I can put more if I need it, but I think we might be surprised when we start blending this, how much that touch.
I'm going to come in really close on that, Tina, so just stay there.
I needed more anyway. I got a bit worried about just touch.
Just touch. That was just a gentle, I call it tickling.
Yeah.
All right, that's how we're going to come in. There we go. See,
so
you're just tickling the parchment,
that.
aren't you?
Yeah, just round and round. So I'm doing the light color. It doesn't matter if I go into the dark, which I will in a minute. So there we go. And I'm going to turn that around. And then I'm going to go into the dark and blend that. There we go.
Okay. It's amazing. It really is the magic, isn't it? That Dorso
It is.
oil.
And it moves as well. So, you know, although we put just a bit, as I blend it out with the oil, it will move a bit further out into the snowman. Oopsie daisy. So because I'm being super careful how much oil I'm getting on there,
Yeah.
I just need to just a little bit more. You know, if you're just starting off coloring with pergoliners, I mean, even with the pergo colors, you can't go wrong. But with the pergoliners, you have that option to, for example, take the color off.
With the
Use
eraser
your
pencil.
eraser and you can take it off. If you get too much oil, yes, the color will all just become splodge, you know, and you see a layer of oil. You can wipe it off, put some more color and blend it. If you don't get enough oil, you can just touch it again and go back. You have got that versatility to play. So yeah, there you go. If I turn that round and actually if I put it on white, can you see how that's blended?
Yeah.
So when I'm putting it on white, I can see it needs just a bit more. So I'm just going to go in there and just rub it a bit more, just to get it nice and smooth. Am I running late or something?
No. We've just gone 11 o'clock and there is still 225 of our friends in the room.
Oh, just 5?
25.
25.
With a 200 in front of it.
There you go. So you can see. So from what it looked like, just pale and like that, that's
it's more. It intensifies that color, doesn't it?
Yeah. So do I need to start winding down?
No, carry on.
Okay. So now red, I have changed my nib.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the same here and just blend that in.
It really stands out on the red when you're showing
this. If I turn that around, you can see the difference where I've started blending to where I haven't blended yet. And it will look a lot more vibrant once the oil evaporates. So this time I was not being as careful, and you can see there's a lot of oil there.
And that's the sort of the streakiness, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the streakiness. But you know what? It will evaporate, and if it doesn't, well, it will.
It will.
Let's not go to if it doesn't, it does evaporate. But to reduce the streakiness, so now I have got a lot of oil there, and I'll be here forever trying to pick it up.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my kitchen towel and I'm just going to blot it a bit. And that picks up. And my nib, I'm just going to take off the extra oil.
Right. So you're letting the tissue
because I can still see streaks. It will annoy me. On the front, you're not going to see much when you put it on the backing, but it will annoy me. And what I've done is by taking off all that extra oil, I can just go and smooth that out.
And it smells lovely as well.
Yeah.
That lovely orangey, citrusy smell.
So there we go. So very nice, easy way to put some color on. You can't go wrong with it. And now I've got rid of all those streaks that were bugging me. Not that they would have shown once you put the backing paper. So that's all our coloring done. So when I had this one here, let's take, so here, okay, I haven't got the center image, but here, so this section here, I have put color.
Right, and that's done in the same way with the
B pencils, and I just used the darker blue on there and just blended it in. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's that. Okay, so we've got a couple of things. Are we okay for that? Can I show glitter quickly?
I know Tina is known for glitter and giggles, so there's no way that we're not going to let Tina get her glitter out. She's been giggling throughout the whole hour, so definitely some glitter is involved.
Some glitter is needed. I think because, you know, it's one of those things I've always run out of time on is glitter. Always. That this is my opportunity. Now, let's go on.
I was going to say, we've got a collection of glitter. So we've got the Pergamano glitter. We've got our Pergamano sticky ink. And we've also got the mapping pen as well. So what I'm just going to I think this is probably the best way of just showing it for. So you've got, it comes in a lovely little carry case on here. Okay, you've got 6 different color options in here. They're all hint of color. So you've got a hint of blue, green, silver, gold, copper, and what was one? Blue, pink, copper, silver, green, and gold. Okay, they're iridescent, they're ultra fine, and they're anti-static, unlike me.
They're beautiful.
Setting the camera off. So there we go. So there's a £5 saving on that as well, plus your club discounts as well.
Do I need
Okay.
more glitter? I think so. But so when I put the glitter, sometimes I put the glitter after I've mounted the card.
Right.
Other times I put the glitter before I've mounted the card. So for example, if I've got perforations and things, I prefer to put the glitter before I mount the card, because what happens is if I put the glitter afterwards, it gets stuck between all the perforations and inside. Yes. So I then avoid putting glitter then.
Right.
For this one, let me show you to mount the card,
Yeah.
unless you want me to skip that stage.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
we're good
so
on
let's
that.
mount it,
I'm
since
gonna
we're
zoom
at the
out a little
stage
bit
to
now.
mount it. And what I forgot to put out is my perforating mat. So I'm going to use this one. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Or unless you want to grab the perforating mat.
I can grab that for you, Tina. Of course, I can
It's
be your
just
lovely assistant.
under there. Well, you're already on this side, so thank you. And this chair is too comfy, and I don't want to move. I like swiveling on it. So,
okay, so sorry, we've got a question.
Yeah.
I did miss it. Apologies for that. It was from, sorry, Julie's just texted me through. It's from Susan Moon.
Hi,
Can
Susan.
you use Dorso oil with the pens?
No.
So the Dorso oil can only be used with the B pencils.
With the B pencils.
Yeah, there we go. Look at message from Susan. Do you use Dorso oil with the perchlorate pencils? So it's only for the B pencils.
For the B pencils. So the pergoliners come with the A pencils as well.
Yeah.
So the A pencils are the water soluble pencils. So you will not be able to blend it with the A pencils. You can use, if you wanted to make for example, your burger color softer, you could use a brush, number 2 brush, but just damp, because you have to remember parchment doesn't like water. So you don't want a wet brush, just a damp brush, and you can move that color around.
Right. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So I hope that helped. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So what I've done is I've picot cut the next size up, which would have been 5th from outside or 7th from inside. And I'm going to position that there, just there.
Okay.
And now this one has these little diddly doos there. And I am going to put my brads in there. So I'm going to hold there. I've got a 1 needle tool, and I'm just going to perforate in there. Okay. And I'm using my perforating mat. Do not use your embossing mat to perforate over. And there we go.
You mean the back of the A4 black mat?
Yeah. Don't use your embossing mat. Because then when you're embossing and you end up having too many holes, you're just going to go through during the embossing. So use a perforating mat. So I've done one side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come diagonal and do the other one, and then I'll do the other 2 last. Okay. So there we go. So I'm just using a 1 needle tool.
So you're using a 1 needle bold to make the hole, which obviously makes it easier.
mean, even if you have a finer one, so say you use the fine 1 needle tool, I would just use my number 1 tool to make the hole bigger. Right, it doesn't matter which, how small. Sharp, just something to make that initial hole.
Yeah. So we've got the brads on the website as well. Yeah, no, you're all good, Tina. They come in black, white, gold, silver, antique silver, pewter. Oh, and the pastel color, the pastel mixed
I love
color.
Those pastels.
They're really, really beautiful. I've got a pack of them here. I'm just going to sneak these in.
I love the pastels.
So this is the pastel color. So you've got those lovely greens, yellows, pinks, and blues and lilacs in there. And you get 40 of them. Believe it or not, there's 40 in that little pack.
I know, when you look at them, you think, is there really? But there is.
I know.
And I love those pastels. And they just go with everything. I think, with the pergoliners, when you blend it and everything, there's always a softer, they look very soft, very dreamlike once you've blended it. That the pastels, oopsie daisy.
Try not to attach it to your sleeve.
Well, no, that's just one of those things that happens with me. It's okay. My sleeves are quite used to it. And then what I'm going to do is, so for this one, I've mounted and layered to make it into a larger card. So I use next size up with white card and another companion paper. I've used Toscana companion paper on this. But if you wanted, you could make it into a smaller card, especially coming to Christmas. And if you've got a lot to post, you can keep it as just the one layer, for example, and make it into a smaller card. So I'm using just the what is it
Clarity
called?
roller tape.
Roller tape.
Glue runners. We've got those. They're on special as well.
Did I forget to say that in the notes I sent you yesterday? That.
Yep. So they're a 4 for 3 on those.
There we go. Oh.
Sure. If you just put glue runner on the. Oh no, I've got the code. If you want the pack of 4, it's 31146. If you just want 1 on its own, then it's 31065.
I need to stand up for this. No, I like this. I like this chair too much. I'm not standing up.
A little bit. You have to sort of really wiggle the chair, don't you, to move because of the floor.
I love it. It swivels. Except I keep knocking you.
No, I'm fine.
Look, it swivels. It's so much fun. So there we go. So that's mounted. Okay, glue. Tina, focus. So I've got sticky ink here.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to be able to open. I put it really tight last night. I didn't want it to spill in the car.
I'm going to take the lids off completely, Tina, and pass it back to you.
Can I put it in something? Can I just move this? And the number of times I've knocked that over. So with the sticky ink, I need a mapping pen.
Yep.
I need a mapping pen.
And that comes in that glitter bundle.
So normally they come like this. I don't know if they still come like this.
No, they come the other way now.
Oh, okay. So then I don't need to show you that. So you can see mine's quite sticky there. So we've got a mapping pen. We've got our sticky ink, and I have got oopsie daisy. Let's have it the right way around. I'm going to use hint of blue.
Hint of blue. Okay.
Hint of blue. And I'm just going to give it a little. Sometimes, all the glitter, the blue, it settles to the top. So just give it a upsy-dupsy.
An upsy-dupsy. That's
a topsy-turvy kind of thing,
just give it
like
a
shake. And have a piece of paper ready to catch it in. And what I'm going to do is, let me bring this in so I can actually show you. And then I'll move it. So I'm going to dip it. And I have got about this much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when I first go in, depending on how much gunk I have on my pen, it may work, it may not work. And I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to, it's fine. Is it fine? Can I see it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, there we go. We do replacement nibs for the mapping pens as well, Tina. So if you need some new nibs, that shopping basket is with the triple points from the triple point.
Yeah, I'm just going to go home and add everything in.
We've got computers here. You can and then you can take it away with you today.
So on all the circles, because I can and I like glitter. Oh, look. So that happens as the glue dries. You will get sometimes, it just collecting at the end. Just pick it off. It's okay. It's only a bit of glue. I've done those. Okay, there. So you're just going to go there, and I'm literally just coloring it in.
And I think one of the great things about the mapping pen is that it can really get into those small areas.
You can. So, for example, on the card itself, I didn't put glitter on the snowman. But for example, if I wanted to put glitter on the snowman, for example, on the outline or on the hat, because it's so fine, look at this. I can just go over, trace it over.
I mean, we sell the Quickie glue pens on our website, and you can obviously use those on parchment as well.
Yes.
But I found that if you wanted to get that sort of that precision, that you would often get the flooding, wouldn't you? Because it's like a ball bearing system. So with the mapping pen, you've definitely got more control when it comes to fine line art.
So, you go ahead, and I'll show you once I put the glitter on this to show how fine that is for it to, which you wouldn't, like you said, with the quickie glue pen.
No.
Yes, for the circles, for the bigger circles, they're fine.
Perfect.
But when you have teeny tiny circles like this, the quickie glue pens are just way too thick.
It would just become a blob, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to do all of them, but I am going to. Yeah, thank you.
I'll put the lid on your sticky ink.
Thank you.
I've seen on Facebook, somebody picked up their sticky ink instead of their glitter, and
I just tend to knock it over. I'm really bad. I just knock it over. So you don't need a lot. Like, I'm just going, well, she says, but I need a lot. I'm not wasting it. Don't panic, because, if you haven't used glitter and you're wondering, what is she doing? I'm enjoying the glitter, basically.
You're enjoying?
Sometimes I will just put glitter in the patch I've put the glue.
Yeah.
But then when the glitter goes, I'll just put all the way around, because I just like looking at the glitter. So there you go. Shake that off. Non-static.
I'm going to take this away from you.
So non-static, and there you go.
Ultra fine.
So I don't know. Is there a better way of, mind you, I'm fuzzy. I mean, I can't see anyway.
Try there. I wonder whether we can get it on camera 3, which is that one. Let's have a look.
Oh, you do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
I mean, the snowman's a bit upside down, but
it's bringing back to the UK rather than Australia.
But you can see on the hat where I put it on just the outline.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And so on the actual card, I have done all over.
Swap this one out for this
but
one.
I didn't on the hat, but I wanted to show you, if you wanted just fine lines, how you can actually get the fine lines with the mapping pen and the sticky ink.
Look at that. It's like little lights are coming on, doesn't it?
Oh, look, I almost pulled the mic off.
Wow, Tina. It has been such a pleasure and so much fun. And you know what? We're going to do it all again at 2:00, aren't we?
We are.
So thank you for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it. Still 222 people in the
22.
room.
We went down from 25 to 22.
Now,
thank you.
We were talking earlier. There was a lovely piece of artwork that one of our lovely design team members had done with some embroidery on it.
Yeah.
Now, you're also known for your lovely embroidery parchlets, aren't you?
Embroidery.
Okay. Where you combine parchment with embroidery.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Would you come back and show us your embroidery parchlets?
You don't even need to finish the sentence. Yeah, of course I will. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, okay. I love embroidery.
We'll get something sorted for a date going forward. But we're back at 2:00 today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been so great fun just to get a different spin on things and to enjoy the company of Tina and her fantastic designs.
It's been nice. It's been so nice.
So don't forget, you can watch this on via our YouTube page afterwards. If you've missed anything or you just want to cheer yourself up with Tina's giggles, you can do that. But we'll be back at 2:00. And we're going to be working on another new project at 2:00.
You want to show it?
Yeah, have you got it to hand there?
It is somewhere down here. I mean, it's chaos. It's chaos. It was neat and tidy, honest. It's
what we're
chaos.
going to be looking at, I don't know. Wow.
We're going to work with sepia tones. We're going to do some perforating this afternoon.
And some pico cutting?
Perforating. Yeah, we will cut out the perforations, honest. We will. Yeah, so we'll do that. And also, how we can bring within the frame outside. And we'll just play a bit more.
Right, I think it's time for a cup of tea and a cup of coffee and maybe some chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Always.
So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again at 2:00.
See you.
I think I'm going to end the stream, or is...
Hi, I'm Barbara from Clarity Crafts, and I'm delighted to tell you about a brand new event in our Clarity calendar. Our annual open days in June have been running for years and have become a very popular destination for crafters from all over the UK. This is where hundreds of us get together to celebrate art, craft and all things Clarity. Whether you're a stamper, a painty mixed media artist or a groovy parcher, this paper crafting event is perfect for you. Announcing the 2024 Clarity Christmas Open Days. You will meet so many talented and creative demonstrators. There will be tutor-led make and takes, loads of cool demos and hourly raffles with super prizes. Oh, and plenty of great shopping deals too. We'll warm you up with mulled wine and treat you to mince pies and cookies. When is it? Where is it? Well, on Friday the 8th and Saturday the 9th of November, we'll be opening our doors at the Ditton Community Centre near Maidstone. It's a great place to meet, easy to get to, ample parking. It really is a lovely, spacious hall. Linda Williams and I are each running all-day workshops on the Sunday too. If you like Clarity, you'll love our Christmas Open Days. Get your ticket today for another fantastic